Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. My friends, there is an American city that has sent out more than 2,200 duplicate ballots to voters for the November 2024 election. I talked about this previously, not on my podcast, but during my live stream on my YouTube channel. I discussed this matter, and there's a reason why I'm bringing this matter up again. An American city that sent out more than 2,200 duplicate ballots to voters for the November 2024 election. And this is the same American city where it was recently revealed that nearly 200 absentee ballots from the November 2024 election remained uncounted. How can this happen? How can this happen regarding the same election in the same American city? First, duplicate ballots were sent out, more than 2,200 duplicate ballots, and then weeks after the November 2024 election, the public gets to know that nearly 200 absentee ballots were uncounted in the same city. How can this happen in the same American city pertaining to the same election? Now, you may be wondering which city I'm talking about. You may be asking, Tausif, please tell us the name of the city. What city are you talking about? My friends, I am very, very sad to report to you that this city is the city in which I live, the city of Madison in the state of Wisconsin. Madison is Wisconsin's capital. Madison is a beautiful city. For those who visited Madison, you probably would agree with me. It is a beautiful city. And for those who did not visit Madison yet, please do so. Add it to your list. It's an amazing city. It's a beautiful city, very attractive city. And the city draws many new residents. So a lot of people move to the city of Madison to live here, to work here, to raise their family here. It's a great city. It's a city that has seen tremendous growth, a city that many tourists love to visit. Madison is a city that is well known, a city that has a lot to offer to people of all ages. There's a reason why I live in the city of Madison. I love this city. This is my home. I attended university in the city of Madison. I've lived here for many years. And I have seen this city evolve. The city has evolved quite a bit. And I love to live here. Now, I also understand and I recognize that the city of Madison has many challenges. And it is not possible for me to discuss all the challenges in one podcast episode. That's not my goal today. Because I want to focus on this particular issue of election. That is the focus of this episode. Back in September, my friends, the City of Madison Clerk's Office responded to a letter from a Wisconsin congressman regarding the issue of duplicate ballots. Congressman Tom Tiffany contacted the City of Madison Clerk's Office regarding the issue of duplicate ballots. And so the City Clerk's Office wrote a letter to Congressman Tiffany answering a series of questions. And the letter that the City of Madison wrote is also available on the city's official website. My friends, I have that letter in front of me. I printed it out. I'm looking at it right now. I will not be able to read the whole letter to you. But anyone who's interested, you can go online and find it. It's titled Response to Representative Tiffany's Letter to the Madison Clerk's Office. And this was posted on the website, on the City of Madison's website, on September 25, 2024. And so in that letter, the City of Madison Clerk's Office admits that the exact number of duplicate ballots that were sent out by the clerk's office was 2,215. So 2215. And the city clerk's office wrote, and it is their word. I'm reading from the letter. Here it says, this was a simple data processing error made by one of the many dedicated professional staff who work for the city. So the city called it a simple data processing error made by one of the many dedicated professional staff who work for the city. And they also write, it is clear that this incident involved human error and involved no criminal conduct. Okay. All right. It is shocking, my friends. It is shocking how such an error can take place. I mean, it's not a small issue. 2,215 duplicate ballots being sent out by the City of Madison clerk's office. And they are calling it a simple data processing error. And they are calling it an incident that involved human error. Okay. All right. So this is from September 25th of 2024 when this letter was published, and it is available on the City of Madison's website. And now, my friends, fast forward. Here we are. This is December of 2024, and there is another issue involving the same city, clerk's office. And this is an issue pertaining to uncounted absentee ballots in the City of Madison. And so the City of Madison published another document which was posted on the City of Madison's website. It's the title of this publication is Disclosure of Unprocessed Absentee Ballots. Disclosure of Unprocessed Absentee Ballots. And this was posted on December 26th of 2024. And in this publication, it is stated, the City of Madison Clerk's Office has discovered that a number of absentee ballots from the November 5, 2024 general election were not properly processed. 193 total ballots from the wards 56, 65, and 68 were discovered during post-election reconciliation and cleanup. The number of uncounted absentee ballots was not enough to affect the outcome of any race or referendum on the ballot. Okay. It is unacceptable. That's my instant reaction. That's what I thought when I heard about this. My instant reaction was, this is unacceptable. Especially when you look at what happened just a few months ago regarding duplicate ballots being sent out, 2,215 duplicate ballots being sent out to voters in the same city, the city of Madison. And now in that very same city, we just got news of 193 total ballots that were discovered that were not processed, absentee ballots that were not processed. Now the city of Madison is saying the number of uncounted absentee ballots was not enough to affect the outcome of any race or referendum on the ballot. Okay, so they're saying 193 unprocessed absentee ballots, but that number is not big enough to impact the outcome of any race or referendum on the ballot. But that can be an excuse. It is unacceptable that this problem happened. Why were 193 absentee ballots not processed? Why? That is my question. First, 2,215 duplicate ballots were sent out pertaining to the same election in the same city, Madison, Wisconsin. And then 193 absentee ballots were not processed. Now, those who are working in the city of Madison, if they come and say, oh, it's not big enough to affect the outcome of any race or referendum on the ballot, that is still not okay. The American people expect and demand free and fair election. People expect and demand election integrity. People expect and demand the accurate counting of ballots. And here we get the news that 193 total ballots were unprocessed. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. The city of Madison also wrote, as specified by the reconciliation process, the clerk's office informed the Wisconsin Elections Commission of the unprocessed ballots by December 20. In the interest of full transparency, we are also informing the public and will be contacting each of the voters affected individually to notify them. Okay, so they are talking about transparency and proper notification. Okay, no, I understand that. And I'm glad that the city of Madison notified the public, informed the public that 193 absentee ballots were not processed. Okay, so the city of Madison is talking about full transparency, and they have informed the public. So I understand that, and I think informing the public is a very important step. So I'm glad that the public has been notified that there were errors, there was a problem, and that 193 total ballots, absentee ballots, were unprocessed. But the questions remain. Why did this happen? First, going back a few months ago, why were duplicate ballots sent out? And now we're hearing 193 total ballots were unprocessed. The question is why? What is going on? Is there a lack of efficiency in the city of Madison clerk's office? Is there an issue with the workflow? Is there an issue with personnel? What is going on? I mean, if the city of Madison wants to be transparent, then we want complete transparency. We want to know What happened? Why were these ballots not counted? Why were these ballots not counted? Who was responsible for counting these ballots? Who was responsible for processing these ballots? Why, what happened exactly? Provide a full and complete picture. Because this is unacceptable. That's the word, unacceptable. Okay? This document that the city of Madison published, it also says the clerk's office will also be sending a letter to apology to all affected voters. Okay, I think it's supposed to. It says sending a letter to apology. I think it's supposed to say a letter to apologize. Anyway, but really, it is unbelievable. Here we are. We are the United States of America, and the city of Madison is a major American city. It's a major city. And it's the capital of Wisconsin. So we cannot imagine that such errors and such problems and such issues will take place in a city like Madison. This is just unacceptable. And as a voter, as an American citizen, as a voter in the city of Madison, I am concerned. And I really want to know what exactly happened and what the detailed plan is going forward to ensure that not a single duplicate ballot gets sent out and that not a single ballot remains unprocessed in future elections. Because we have important elections coming up. The spring election, the 2025 spring election is coming up very, very soon here in just a few months. And there is going to be a major statewide race in spring. The race for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. It's a major statewide race that's coming up. And as people like to say, every vote matters. Every vote matters. Okay? So even if a single vote remains unprocessed, even if a single ballot remains unprocessed, that is supposed to make us concerned. We want 100% accuracy in the electoral process. And it is unacceptable. I think I've said the word many times already, unacceptable. What happened in the city of Madison, the fact that duplicate ballots were sent out and then ballots were also uncounted, unprocessed, 193 ballots unprocessed. These two instances of errors, first, the duplicate ballots being sent out and then ballots remaining unprocessed, pertaining to the same election, the November 2024 general election. And so that's why, my friends, I may be repeating it, but I'll say it again. It is unacceptable. And as a City of Madison resident, as an American voter, I would expect that the city would provide a detailed explanation as to how these issues took place and what the plan is to ensure 100% accuracy in the electoral process going forward. That is my expectation, and I'm sure that there are many other Madison residents out there who would also expect the same thing. So, my friends, that's all I have for this episode. The year is coming to an end. As I'm recording this podcast episode, it is December the 31st of 2024. In just a few hours, the new year will begin. 2025 will begin. As we are heading towards 2025, we will think about new goals and new objectives. We will also look at the year 2024. In our mind, we will recap, okay, what are all the major things that happened in our lives in 2024? What are the things we accomplished? What are the milestones that we reached? What are the lessons we learned? There's a lot to think about, and all I can tell you is that we must enter the new year with tremendous optimism, tremendous energy, tremendous enthusiasm, and with a lot of hope. I'm very hopeful. I'm hopeful about the future of our country. I'm hopeful about our economy. And I think 2025 will be a great year. I think 2025 will be a great year. I'm eagerly looking forward to seeing President-elect Donald J. Trump be sworn in. I'm looking forward to seeing Mr. Trump being sworn in as the 47th president of the United States of America. And, the November 2024 election, it was one of the most important elections of our lifetime. And, maybe it was the most important election of our lifetime. It really was. And here we are, looking at the possibility of a bright future. Obviously, in the last 4 years, under the Biden-Harris administration, our economy, our country has, our economy has faced severe challenges, and our country saw a lot of damage. Okay, when you look at the border crisis, when you look at inflation, our country suffered a lot. The American people suffered a lot over the last 4 years with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge. But now we are looking at a new Trump administration in the year 2025. And so it gives me a lot of hope when I think about it. So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, and I believe truly that 2025 will be a great year. And as I've mentioned before, and I think I say this quite a bit during my live streams on YouTube, that our president-elect, who is soon going to be our 47th president, Donald J. Trump, we are with him. We are with the Trump administration, millions and millions of Americans. We will help the Trump administration and Mr. Trump make America great again. Okay, it's going to be a collective effort. Donald Trump is our leader. People chose him as the president, but we, the American people, we will be with Mr. Trump at every step. And together, we, the American people, we will make America great again. So with that, my friends, thank you so much for continuing to listen to my podcast. I truly appreciate your support. And December 31st, so the next time I publish a podcast episode, it'll be a new season, it'll be a new year. So thank you so much, and please continue to support my podcast by continuing to listen to my episodes. And also, if you like my episodes, please share Please share the information about my podcast with your friends, family members, and your neighbors. Thank you so very much, my friends. And I will be back soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.